Hey traders, Ed here from Revolution Swing. The beautiful thing about the stock market is there are endless opportunities on any given day to have the ability to pull profits. The key is finding and identifying those high probability setups, which is where a lot of traders struggle. And in this video, I'm going to show you not one, but two examples of one of my favorite setups, which if executed properly, has the potential to be an absolute cash cow. So, without further ado, let's get into the charts. Alright guys, so let's get into the chart. So this example here is on eBay. And I'm going to go into detail here of why exactly I love this setup here. And I'll show you a couple things that you want to look for. This way if you see it and you know all the criteria is there, you have a recipe for a very high probability of taking a swing short and it working in your favor. In any market condition too, mind you, okay? So on eBay here, you could see that it got extended down, for whatever reason. Now, sometimes the reasoning of why they extend down matters. I mean, you kind of want to know why it does, but it got extended down, right? And then you just, when you see something do that, kind of put it on your radar a little bit and just see if it finds a base and then see what it's going to do when it bases. You can see everything works in ebbs and flows, guys, right? So you can see eBay is basing here and it's working its way up. Now you can see it broke the daily 9 and popped up here, okay? And this is where it closed on Friday. This is where this setup has a high probability of working, okay? So prior to the dump, you could see it was basing here, right? It kept getting bought up here for whatever reason, but is getting bought up in this area. There's support here, you got support here, here. Just a bunch of support in this area, okay? And everybody knows that support becomes resistance becomes support, right? So now, because it's broken down on its way back up, this is going to act like a major ceiling of resistance made out of concrete, okay? It's going to take a lot of force to break out of this, right? You got the resistance here, you got the resistance here. I mean, there's resistance all through here, right? So it's going to take an awful lot for it to get through this. Not to mention you have your moving averages, your daily 50 and the daily 20. And if you really wanted to take it all the way up, I mean, you'd have the 100 here, but there's enough in here for this to work. Okay. Now I'll flip my board over so you can see. Now this was a swing, one of the swings that we picked for Revolution. These are the type of setups that we give our members week in and week out. We scour the market looking for high probability setups. Now you could see the plan was to come into this level here, potentially this level here, and then if it gets past this, kind of stop out. But this is the beauty of this setup, right? And I'll try to get it close. From entry to stop, it's about 1.5 points. You're only risking 1.5 points, right? On this setup, which is minimal for a swing, guys. Especially if you're sizing properly and, utilizing, your risk tolerance properly, okay? Now, I'm going to show you. Now, in this setup, unfortunately, we didn't get to take this because it worked so well that it completely died pre-market and the entire play was done. But the other thing I'll show you real quick is the SPY. So you can see on Monday, this is where the SPY closed on Friday, and anybody that was watching the market, like absolutely ridiculous, disgusting gap up, like over 14 points. News on the day, it was absolutely disgusting. But that's important, right? I want you guys to see that. Now let me get back to eBay. And then I'm going to bring this in real quick. Okay, so I had to screenshot this because TC2000 is not showing pre-market from Monday. But so this was a screenshot of this play on Monday morning. Okay, and I took it at 9:41 in the morning because the market decided to open at that time. But you can see where it tapped out in the morning and then completely died before we even had an opportunity to take it. That's how well this play works, guys. And you can see it died and dumped that much on day one, a market that is gapping up over 14 points. Okay? That's a big deal, guys, right? That's just to show you the power of this type of setup. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you another example, right? This was another rev swing play. Now, this is ongoing, but it's yielded quite a bit of profits. So, and it's not all the time to where you get to see two of the same setups, comparable setups in the same week. So, especially on a market leader, which I love. So let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see the side by side. Now this one we actually got to take, and it's paying beautifully. But this is what I really wanted to show you, and you can see the power of this setup, okay? Because in these setups, regardless of what the market does, and I'm not saying all the time, there's always, sometimes, things don't always work out, but the probability of it working in your favor is very, very high, okay? Again, Twitter. Now, this is a market leader, right? This is, a stock that follows the market. You could see here on Monday, it tapped out at this level. Now, these levels were all marked up on Saturday for swing members, or, for Revolution swing members. These have not been changed. And you can see the level of accuracy on these levels. But most importantly, you could see the power that this setup has. Again, another example on a market that gaps up over 14 points, one of the biggest market gap ups I've seen maybe this year, if I remember correctly, and it didn't give a shit, right? It pushed a little harder than eBay did, right? It held on so we can actually get into it, and members cleaned up, but it tapped out. It was done. Hit there to the penny, right? Kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see. Boom. I mean, that's accurate, guys. I mean, that is dead nuts accurate. And then it's just been dying ever since, right? That is the power of this setup on a short. Now, where it has the ability to be a cash cow, and why I absolutely love it, is, let's say you were in eBay, right? And this is all hypothetical because everybody's account size and risk tolerance is completely different. But, and I don't want anybody with small accounts, thinking this is something they're going to do. Because if you have a small account, you need to pay yourself, if you're the only type of person right now that can only take, 1, 2, 3, 4 contracts, pay yourself, right? Don't think about this part of the setup, okay? But part 2 of this setup, which is what I love, is it really lets you get control and you're in the driver's seat, okay? So let's say on eBay we got in up here, right? Because that's where it tapped out pre-market. And you're riding it and you're paying yourself. You're in control, right? You got money in the bank. You have some position, size to manage, but you got money in the bank. You're in control. At this point, you don't give a shit what it does. It can come back up. You just close out the position for the remainder, break even, or, take your profits and you're done. But where it's nice is, since you're in the driver's seat, you have the ability to ride it all the way down if you want to. Now, in this scenario, this is where it retraced back up, right? So I have that level marked. There's another support area I have marked, okay? And on day 1, look what it did. It bounced right here. Now, this is where it could really become a cash cow for you. Because one of two things are going to happen, okay? It's either going to hold in this area and then kind of dick around a little bit and then start coming back up. Okay. Day 2, you can see how it bounced here. So day 2, maybe it'll hold higher and then start working its way back up. Or it's going to just completely die, right? It's going to break down and die. Now, this is where being in control is nice. So if you're riding it all the way down here, you get to see this play out, okay? And you have 2 choices. And either choice is going to let you make money, okay? Choice number 1 is you're riding a short, see what it does. And if it breaks down, you're still in it, and you're going to make money. And the move is going to be a little bit violent because it's breaking key support. And if you're trading options, the premium's really going to skyrocket because the volatility really helps that out. Option 2 is and this is where it's nice because on swings you obviously want to be in the earlier the better, okay? So let's say, for example, this day didn't happen. This is the day and it's holding, right? You have the opportunity to look for a secondary hold in this area, a higher low, and then flip long and then ride this bitch back up, right? So because you rolled the elevator all the way down, you're starting in on the ground floor on potentially a long up. But because you got in so high at very key resistance, you're in a prime position for the breakdown as well too. So this setup, when taking in the beginning and you ride it all the way down, puts you in a position to where you really can make money even further, or just flip and ride it back up. You can see in the examples I gave you, they have great potential to be low risk and have a high probability to go in your favor for worry-free profits. You could also see the accuracy our plays have for our members, which is powered by the Tricktrades strategy. So remember, if you want to get properly educated on how to trade stocks by a true professional, head to tricktrades.com. And if you want to grow your account with killer swing trades like the ones I just showed you, head to revolutionswing.com. So until next week, this is Ed signing off.